Okay, let me just okay. So let's talk about TestNG and why do we need it for. On the other hand, let me just go here and type TestNG. Okay, so when we want to download TestNG, so we just type TestNG on Google and we go to the website. As we go to the website, then I'm going to just show you what TestNG is and why we use it for. This is the website that we need to go and get it. So just remember this line. This is important. So TestNG is a testing framework inspired from JUnit and a JUnit and NUnit, but introducing some new functionality that make it more powerful. So that's a very useful one. So what is TestNG? TestNG is a testing framework. We mostly use we do unit testing with TestNG. Remember, guys, we do unit testing. This is TestNG. TestNG is a framework, and it is inspired by JUnit and NUnit, and it just introduced more features and functionality. That's all. In TestNG, we have different features like annotations. So run your test like differently. These are things that you can go and read it. So by just typing TestNG in Google, and then you can just see it. So this is the website that you can go and have more information on it. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to install TestNG. If you go here, so now I have, so I'm going to show you different ways of installing TestNG. So first of all, this is my Eclipse. So how do I know if I have TestNG installed? I go, I just right click here, and then or window, I say preference. And here, if I see TestNG, it means I have it installed. If not, so I don't have it. So this is the best way that you guys can find. So I have TestNG, that's all. Again, you go to window, preference. So do you have TestNG on your computer? Yes, you have, that's all. This is the TestNG. If not, then you would need to go to help. So Eclipse Marketplace. So if you didn't see it there, then you will open this and then just write TestNG. And if you don't have it installed, so it will be installed on your computer. Just wait. So I'm going to show you different ways, and after that we're going to go through everything. So till it gets pops up, and here the way we are going to install it through this website. So here we click on Eclipse because we are going to use Eclipse. We don't mind about the rest. You can go and learn, because these are the features, are very, very important features, like from groups, XML, and whatever you need. So let's see if this one is done. Okay, now it's done. I'm gonna just write TestNG. And after that, if I don't have it installed, then I would need to install TestNG for Eclipse. So now it shows as installed, so I don't need it anymore. So why do I need it to install here when even I don't have it on my Eclipse? So under the way that you check your Eclipse that you have it or not, you go again, I'm going to show you preference. That's all. Do you have it here? If you see it here, then you have TestNG. That's all. Okay. Another way of downloading Eclipse. So here, I'm going to go again. So you are in the website, you click on Eclipse, and then you come here on installation. This is the best way that you can install TestNG on your computer. After you click on this, so you would say, you come here, you start install the plugin. My internet is a bit slow. Okay, and here it gives you the URL after you click on Eclipse plugin. Then you copy this URL. That's very, very easy. Copy, you come to your Eclipse window. Here, install new software. You click on this and you just copy it here. That's all. After I enter, then it would give me Eclipse. Oh, now I don't need it. See, if I click on this and then it give me the next option, but I have it now. I don't need it. So if I just copy the path, then after I press enter, it gives me the name of the path that is it comes from. It's TestNG. So if I don't have it, I have it installed, so it doesn't allow me. I would need to delete it. If I want to delete it, I would go to manage and then delete, so I don't need it. And or I can also do it this way. How to delete it? I can find it. So this is TestNG. This is TestNG. I can here say, okay, uninstall, update, whatever. So I don't need it now. I hope you guys understood that. Okay, this is another way of doing with TestNG. Okay, now I'm gonna create a TestNG project in different ways and show you how it works. Normally with TestNG, we do not need to create a Maven project or whatever. We just normally create a Java project. Here we say, we come and say project. For example, I would call a sample, then finish. Normally I close this, but you can say don't create. So this is my TestNG project sample. Okay, when I open this, I have nothing here. I can create a package. So I would call the package TestNG1. And then because I put the space here, finish. Then here I would create another class. On classes are normal because I created a normal Java project. Okay, now I would just call it test1 again, or test 2020. That's fine. So now this is a TestNG. How do I know that this project is TestNG or not? So when you come here, you do not see any TestNG. So I close this project, then I come here. This is my SRC folder, and I do not see any TestNG. But if I come here and I open this, I see TestNG. See, this is a TestNG project, and these are the jar files for TestNG. Now, how do I know if I have TestNG here, I don't have TestNG, or if I right click here, it doesn't give me the option for TestNG? And how can I import on it? Okay, so now how do I do that? How do I know that I have TestNG? So I would create a quick thing. So avoid the, I would say book. So is it a TestNG yet? No, I don't have TestNG. It's not a TestNG project. Then I'm going to use an annotation. I'm going to tell you about this, what I just want to use. Now, I used annotation, which is test, but I don't have TestNG. But you guys know how to install TestNG another way. So because I think, what was the name of the guy? Eldest, I think. Yeah, Eldest told you guys. He said just go and right click here. And normally here we add TestNG in our project class path, and we add library TestNG. I didn't do it, so I didn't add TestNG yet. Remember, this is one way, but I normally don't do it. So now it's not a TestNG project, it's a Java project. I open it again. Do you guys see there is no TestNG here? So this is my JRE, and this is my SRC file. It's still no TestNG. Like imagine if I open ticket stuff, this is a Java project, no TestNG. If I open text Selenium, there is no TestNG here. If I go to this, then I see TestNG. Now this is a TestNG project. Okay, so how can I add now TestNG without going here, without like right clicking here and then choosing class path and then adding library? Normally we do it. This is one way, but another way that is very easy. So this is a test annotation. This is from TestNG, but this is mine is a Java project. When I hover over this is one way. They said, okay, this belongs to TestNG. You got to import TestNG to your project. See, I don't have a TestNG folder here. Just see it. The first thing I need to do, okay, add JUnit4 library to this path. Add JUnit. I don't need add TestNG library. So this is one way, guys, adding testing library. And another way that you can do the same thing. If I come here and if I click on this, adding library, it's the same thing. Add library, add library. So this is something, if you don't do TestNG, but you're working on your Java project, you can add anytime you want. Now, I want to add, so I need to click on this 2 times. One, because for this red line. One, because I don't have TestNG. My project is not TestNG yet. So I want to add TestNG, not to add this test ads. Okay, just TestNG. Okay, TestNG library. Now see here. now this project is TestNG. So these are the files that I was added. Now if I right click on this and go here, do you see? I got TestNG. It's the same as this one. If I go here and add it from here. Now I have TestNG in my project, but as you see, nothing has been imported here. So now, okay, it says you have TestNG, but you have not imported this annotation yet. Now it doesn't give me the option for TestNG because I already have TestNG here. It gives me the option, okay, add this annotation, import it. Import from what? Import from the TestNG project that you are working on. This is my TestNG project. But before that, it didn't give me the option import because I didn't have a TestNG project to import from these files. Okay, now I say import, that's fine. Now it's a TestNG project, and now I have the annotation as long as Java project. This is one way. Another way is just to go and first, if you want to, if you're sure that it's going to be a TestNG project, okay, and then click on class path and add the library. That's all. So this is something that I wanted to tell you guys because I think Eldest did not mention it. I don't use this way normally. And just you guys learn it, that would be good. Okay, now I have TestNG in my project. How do I know this is a TestNG project? I don't care about the name. I open it. Okay, this is TestNG. If I go on this, imagine master class. Okay, this is not TestNG. How can I add TestNG on this? I right click on this, properties, then class path, then I add TestNG. Or I would go open it on any of the classes. I would use one TestNG annotation, whatever, before class, after class, test, or whatever. So this is how to create a TestNG framework. So I hope it was helpful for you guys because it's important. And the way of downloading and installing, I showed you. That was you once you learn something, and then the other one is just come here and from this install software, whatever you copy from here, then you just paste it and enter. It gives you the option TestNG, click, and that's all. Okay, so I'm going to delete this project. So any question, guys?
No, we're good.
Okay, so now let's go and see what is TestNG and why do we need it. So I have a big topic. I hope we can cover it. I don't want to cover codes because you guys know, but just take that. So what is TestNG? TestNG what is TestNG? T it stands for new, and NG stands and also J it stands for generation. So a new test generation. So, and this is an open source. How do you know that it's an open source? Because I just come to the website. So let's go back. This is Google. I just write TestNG and then I can download it easily. So this is what, if something is open source, it means it's downloadable, it's free. So I can just download it here. So that is why we call it open source, because we can easily download it and there is no license to be bought. And this is a built-in framework. What is a built-in framework? So in a company, imagine you have different test cases here. Test case one, test case like this is one, this is two, this is test case three. So and you have many test cases, and we studied, you have object page, and you have log files, you have a lot of things. But this case, for example, this is sanity testing, this is regression testing, this is, I can say, unit testing, for example. But if you want to manage these things all together, and by doing this, you need a report. So you need a report. Okay, you have different test cases, 100 test cases. You have all of them like as 10 test case sanity, like 12 regression, and like 20 unit testing. And on the other hand, you need to create report for this. So for these, we need to handle all of these, we need to just put it in a framework just to do it easily, because to manage our test cases. So for that, we use TestNG. That's fine. This is TestNG. So TestNG is a framework that we manage our test cases with. That's all. So these are test cases, and like this is, we can have like 100 test cases. So, and for these test cases, so in these the test cases alone, they have page object model. and they have utility classes. They have a lot of things. So how to manage everything here? Because we need to cover it in a framework, and that framework we can have it like under TestNG. But by using TestNG, we can create reports for that. And this is a sample thing that we use TestNG for. Okay, now uh, so TestNG is similar to JUnit. So JUnit, if we come here, so JUnit was the older version. If you uh, if you will notice, TestNG is a framework inspired by JUnit and NUnit, but introducing some new functionalities and or features. So that's why I'm going to show you these things. So this is similar to JUnit, but it has more uh, features and functionality, and it's a built-in framework. A built-in framework, it means by using so it is already in Java, so we can use it. And a built-in framework, as I just mentioned, so we put everything together, and then what is that called? This is TestNG, and we can also call it TestNG framework. By using that, we can have many test cases, and for those cases, every test case can be like can have a name, or I told you regression, I don't know, unit or whatever. So and all these test cases, we need to create reports for these. And every test case, they have they are supported by utility classes. They are supported by page object classes. So by page object classes, and also whatever. And so to manage these test cases, because we use a framework called TestNG, and it's a built-in framework. By using that, we can manage our test cases. This is the most important thing. And so by doing that, also we can create reports for every test case. This is the main thing that we are going to do by TestNG. So advantage of TestNG. So TestNG create HTML reports by default. So it gives us HTML reports. So when I go to, imagine this is TestNG. When I open this, okay, let's go and open this. But this is a small, let me go one of my test cases. Okay, so whenever we execute a file, it gives us a report. So what is the first report TestNG gives us? So what is the first use is to manage our test cases. So, and also it gives us a report. This is not a good report, but this is a default report. Instead of this, we use another report, which is called extend report. So on this file, which is a test output, when we run a file, it gives us a report called an HTML report. So let's go and find it. So index HTML. So if I open this, um, here system. So it gives us a report based what whatever we did. So this is the report, whatever test case we created. So I'm gonna work on this and show you guys. So just learn, this is the report that it gives us. And also it gives us another report by email. We're gonna learn it. So this is the first thing that it gives us, the advantage of that. Another thing, it managed test suite and test cases. So we can run our test cases by grouping, by whatever, as I showed you here. Okay, what test case do I want to run? Do I want to run regression testing? Do I want to run unit testing? Whatever. We can manage our test cases by test unit. We're going to learn it. And also it gives us report. And we can also do parallel execution. What is parallel execution? Let me just delete this. So imagine I have my internet is locked. So imagine I have a browser here. So I have a test case here. If I want to execute this on a Chrome, so it's gonna take a minute. Then if the same test on different browser. So here, uh, if I want to do it by Firefox, another minute. If I want to do it by, for example, IE, so another minute. So totally it takes 3 minutes. So because it starts from Chrome and Firefox. So here, so it will take 1 minute for Chrome, 1 minute for Firefox, and 1 minute for IE. It's going to take 3 minutes. But by parallel execution, what do we mean is that so we can generate. So this is test case. At the same time, I can execute it by IE, by Firefox, and by Chrome. So it's going to take only 1 minute, because at the same time, all these browsers going to pop up. But if I just do it this way, right, the regular way, it's gonna take at least 3 minutes or maybe more, because every test case, every browser needs to be popped up after one another. So 1 minute at least this, and one this. It's gonna take 3 or more. But here it's gonna, if I want to run this test case, all my browser will be popped up at the same time. So this is called parallel testing. So what's the advantage of that? If you have like 10 test cases, it's not gonna show you why. But if you have more than 100 test cases, it is very, very time saving, because you are not gonna wait for every browser to be popped up. And at the same time, all your browsers will be popped up, and you have the ability to do it. So this is another feature. We call it parallel execution. And also the fourth feature is that we can use annotation for execution, for executing method in TestNG, that you're kind of familiar with that, and you're going to learn that as well. And also it support parameterization. What is this? We can, what is parameterization? Let me give you a sample here. So imagine I have two tests here, test one, test two. So I can give parameters. These are methods. Sorry, not tests. Method one, method two. I can give parameters to these method through parameterization. So like whatever. So one parameter or two parameter, or here, like for example, one parameter. So by parameter I mean, so this, for example, I can give parameter to method. This is a method and this is the parameter, whatever the data type is. So by doing that, we can use parameterization. So by this and using as XML file, we can give parameter to any method by using XML file, that we're going to learn that. So just to short it, by parameterization, we can just give parameter to method, and also we can also execute, we can have parallel execution. So, and the last one thing is that when you have TestNG, you don't need to have main method. So let me show you something. Okay, I'm gonna, so these are the features that we have with TestNG. Creating report, then manage our test cases like through suits, parallel execution, many browser at the same time. So we can use annotations with methods, classes, or whatever. And also we don't need test cases. Let me create a class here to show you what's the difference. So again, Java project. And here I would say TestNG practice. Finish. Okay. Now it's a Java project. It's not the TestNG yet. So I can create the package. TNG1. Okay, inside this, I'm gonna create a class. Okay, so this is a Java project. Okay, so let's do something. I wanna, so if I wanna do a sys out here, let's do a method here. No, void. Okay, this is a method, so I'm gonna create a sysout. So I'm gonna parameterize this string b, and then cut this, and then I'm gonna print b. So let's see. So okay, not this. Let's do this. So do you think it's gonna run or not?
I don't think so, Rafizan, because we don't have the main method. Unless if
Yeah.
it's a TestNG, then it will run. But if it's a Java project, it won't.
Okay, so it's gonna give you error, but it's opening my other browsers, and that's fine. So it doesn't give you it's not gonna work because it doesn't have a main method. So but the feature we have here, TestNG, we do not need main method. So how can we achieve that? By by just, so is it a TestNG project yet? No, because I don't have TestNG here. So I would just add a, so this is now TestNG project. So I would add library again, because it's not a TestNG library yet. Okay, adding TestNG library. Okay, and now I'm gonna import this. But if I want to right click, now it gives you the TestNG option. So this is how we can create and see what is it. Is it a TestNG project really or not? Now we can see here if it's a TestNG project or not. Now it gives me the report, and now it's giving me the error because this is a method that I have not, this have not been parameterized. So I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna put a note here, whatever. So just to show you guys. So now this is TestNG. I can run it. I can run my method without using main method. So one run and one pass. So this is TestNG now. That's why we don't use main method. Okay. So in TestNG, something which is very, very important, guys, remember this. Normally, we have test cases when we do manual testing. And for this, we have tests, we have packages, and then we have class, we have method. But here we have test suites. For packages in TestNG, we have test suites. For classes, we have test cases. Every class is a test case. Every class is a test case. But those test cases, they have steps, okay? But we use method instead of those steps. Again, we have test suites, and then for those test suites, we have to create test cases. For those test cases, we have to create steps. Here in TestNG, those test suites are considered as package. Test cases, which is like every class has one test case, they are called, we can use them as class. And for steps, we use method. So method are steps, and classes are test cases, and packages are test suites, the same thing. Okay, we learned how to install TestNG, and now I'm going to start working on TestNG, the same thing. Okay, let's start from this order. So what is this order? I'm going to show you before method and after method. So why do we use before method and after method? Remember, guys. So the reason we are using before method and after method because we want to, the reason we can manage test cases and test suites. It's the reason. Okay, now I'm going to show you like an actual project, so then you guys are going to learn a lot. Okay, so but I'm not going to write it because we don't have time. Let's just copy. No, let's just go quick and copy something because it's going to take time. Testing. Okay, I created something for you guys for everything, but I'm gonna use them differently that you guys understand. That's all. Okay, this is class version. So this is annotation, before and after annotation. Okay, this is class. This is method. I need the method. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna copy everything. This is easy. So I'll come back here. This is TestNG, and I'm gonna delete this. Okay, why? I'm gonna use annotations here. Delete everything and delete this. Okay, the scenario I have, I'm gonna go on Facebook. I'm gonna keep one, just not to copy. Okay, this is my scenario, guys. First of all, I want to log in my Facebook account. This is login. After I log in, I want to create a post. After that, I want to find some friends. And after that, I want to scroll down and create a story. And after that, I want to log out. So this is the procedure. Okay, but here, what do I need to do? Before I want to do anything, I need to log into my Facebook, yeah? This is my first method that needs to be done before any of these. If I'm not able to log in, so I cannot do anything. So after I log in, then I do my job, create a post, and then find friends, and then I scroll down and create a story or whatever. I need to log out. So what do I need to do now? So this is my, so here, remember, these are not TestNG yet. If I right click here, I can, if I just go on this and delete this, then save this. Okay, I'm going to delete everything. I'm going to save it. If I right click here, it's not, it gives you the option, but it's not going to run because it's not testing yet. You have not put any test. Okay, what are my main tests? The main test is something that you put the test annotation on it. This is my main test. Remember this, guys. So what do you want to do? I want to create a post in Facebook. This is the main task. So I put import. So this is my main task. What else? After that, I want to find friends, another main. So whatever, if you put a test annotation on a method, it is a main test. This is TestNG. But and here I need to create a story, and after that click on marketplace. I forgot this. Click on marketplace. So how many methods I have here? One, I want to create a post, find friends, scroll down, and then create a story and click on marketplace. I have 5 tests. Now I want to manage my test. I want login to, if I now do this, let's run this. Whenever you run TestNG, it gives you 2 kind of reports, guys. Remember, one you have in console, remember, and the other method we call this tree, and it gives you another method. So here, so creating a story, creating a post, finds or whatever. Now these 2 have not been executed, log out and log in, because I don't want them to be a method. I want them to so now create a story, create a post or whatever. So where do I need the login? I need the login before all of these methods, and I need the logout after all these methods, after I click on my marketplace. Okay, after I click on my marketplace. Okay, now this comes to the picture. So before method, these are all methods I want to use as a before method annotation. So what do I say here? I want to log out before any of these. So and after everything is done, I want to log in, and I want to log out here after everything is done. This is after method. Okay, now before I do anything here, I need to log in. So I create before method. I mean, execute. This is going to be executed before any of these, and after method is going to be executed after I do my job and I want to log out. Okay, let's just execute this. If you see, this is method. So if I say before method, login, so then I click on my marketplace, then log out. One is up. This is my first test case. Then again login, I do my job, then I log out. Then I log in, I do my job, then I log out. So if you come here, these login and log out, they are not considered. If you see this report, they are not, you don't see login and log out, because if you put before or after annotation, they are not considered as test. They are considered as supported method. These are called as supported method for these test annotation method. So whenever you put test annotation on any method, that's a main method that you need to be executed. So how many we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the main method that we have here. So, but for before method and after method, they are going to be executed before every method. So imagine this is a test case. I'm going to delete everything from here. This is my test case. Okay, let's delete everything. I want to just get into the Facebook and create a story. Okay, I want to get into the Facebook, create a story, and after that I want to log out. That's fine. This is a task that I need to do. Now what is my main task? To create a story. So I put that as a test annotation. For logging out, I put it as a before method because this is a supportive method. And for logging in, supporting, and logging out is a supportive as well. So if I execute this, here I'm going to only have one method because I only have one method to be executed, not more. Let's see. Okay, how many tests I have? One passed because we didn't do any code. Now here I only have creating a post or a story, whatever the name was. Post, yes. So what I did here, so log into the Facebook, create a post, a story, and then log out. So for this login and log out, because they are repeated, so I don't need to create every time. I just put a before method and after method. If I have 100,000 method, these are gonna be executed after each method. Remember this. Before method and after method, they are not be executed. They are only supportive methods, and they're gonna be executed after each and every method. So if you have now I have one method. How do you know? How do I know? Because I have a test annotation here. So this is the use that we have. We are going to, if you have any method you have, 10, 12, 100, they're going to be executed before every method and after every method. So I'm going to get back to all my posts. So this is something that if you go on Facebook, so you just, let me go on my Facebook at least, no worries. Okay, if you go, this is my, okay, let's put on another Facebook. So if you want to use Facebook, okay, here, what you need to do, this is a process. You just log in and then you do something and then you just come back and then you log out. Then you log out. So for login and log out, you don't need to use everything different times. Okay, this is after and before method. They're going to be executed before every method that you use a test annotation. Now, if I run this again, okay, what happened? So I log in, I create I click on marketplace, then I log out. I log in, I create a story, and then I log out. Log in and do this. So when you log in, you do something, and then because this is a method, clicking on marketplace, this is a method. Okay, now I just remember they are supportive, and then they are not gonna be main method because they are not test annotation method. They're going to support these methods. That's all. This is, and also we are not going to have them in our trees here. They're not here. So another question, this click on marketplace is my last method. But why do I have it here at the first? Because TestNG cares about the first letter. This is C, so C comes before S, before F, or whatever. So this is the first one that it counts because the reason, because here even this is C, but after that P, M is before P. So this is the reason. If you want to handle this problem, you come here and then you open and you give it priority. So priority equal 1. So what is priority? Because I want everything to be in order. So it doesn't make sense to click on marketplace, then create a story. I want it to be as in my order. So I'll give it priority 1. And then I come here and I copy the same thing, not to write it. I would say priority again. So the reason I give priority because I want them to be executed in order. Okay, this is 1. So, and when you give priority to your test annotations method, the main test, not the other one. So, okay, that's this is another method. So we forgot to put this. So do you guys see any scroll down here? You don't see. You know what? Because I don't have a test annotation. So this is not going to be executed. It doesn't have a test annotation. So let's see if we have it here. Scroll down. We may have it here because this is text. Even we don't have it here because this is a test annotation. If you miss it, it's not going to be executed. When you put a test annotation, it means that this is a main test in TestNG. Okay, now I'm gonna copy this here. So this is one. This I want this to be executed the second time after this, after that. So this is the order I want. So 1, 2, 4, and the last one is gonna be 5, 4. So now click on marketplace is the first one. I want the marketplace to be at the end. Okay, I want this to be started at creating posts. Sometimes for me it doesn't work because my Eclipse is very heavy. It didn't help today. I hope it works now because it's a new project. Okay, so you say creating a post number 1, and then after that finding friends number 2 is scrolling down 3, and these are in order. And the last one is marketplace. This is marketplace. Okay, now there should not be like number 1 or 2. You can put any number, but they should be in order. So I want to put this 1, or let's put this 100, but I'm gonna put this 101. Okay, and I'm gonna put this like 102. 103 and 104. So now this is the first one, creating a post, but this is going to be executed after that. This is going to be executed because I put it after that order. Now we need to have login. We need to have creating a post, and after that click on marketplace. Okay, creating a post here, we have it, and clicking on marketplace. This is clicking on marketplace because we put a priority after 100, 101, and then 102 is finding friends. It should be finding friends after that. And again, before and after method will be executed before each and every method. And how do I know that this is a method? It must have a test annotation method that it comes from TestNG. If I remove this, this is not going to be executed here and also here. Okay, I hope you guys understood this. This is before every method. Now, let's go and have the same thing to another class. Okay, any questions? We are going to move to the next one, guys.
No question, thank you.
You're welcome. So now here we had the same, I think, so we gave priority, and so we have 3 kind of output, guys. First console that I showed you guys, this is the console when you use TestNG. Another output we have is tree mode. This is tree mode that we give normally. We call this tree mode. And another one is HTML report, guys. So when do we get that HTML report? Whenever we execute our test case through XML file that we have not studied yet. I'm going to cover that. So these are 3 output we get. Okay. So this is a scenario we had. We had a login, logout, and open URL, whatever. I think we did it. And annotation, so this is the test annotation. When we put the test annotation on every method, this is going to be executed. If I remove these test annotation, they're not going to be executed. You will have the method, but it's not going to be executed in either in the tree mode or your console. Okay. And also we have test annotation. So before and after methods. So why do we use these? Again, we use them to manage our test cases, manage our test suites and test cases. Remember, guys. So this is the purpose of TestNG. Why do we use TestNG? We use TestNG to put everything in a framework. Again, we use TestNG to put everything in a framework and manage our test cases. So we have a lot of test cases. Again, they have supported things, and we are going to execute them in order of the name they have. So everything is going to happen inside this framework, and this is a built-in framework. So by managing them, these are the way that we can manage our execution. Okay, test and after method, they're going to be executed before every and after every method. Before and after class, I'm going to give you another scenario here. I have it. So we are done with this one, and I'm going to name this because I have a lot to cover, I think. Let's go. If we okay. So I'm gonna create another class here quick. Class. So class. So we're gonna learn before and after class, but differently. So I have the code. I don't want to write it. Takes time. Before I created all this for you guys, just not to waste time. Okay, I think I have. Yeah, I have the same thing because I want to show you the same thing. Class. Okay. Again, I'm gonna keep this priority because you learned them. Okay, then these I have test annotation. So priority. What do I want to do? I want to log in, create a post again, find friends, and then so let's do this. Not okay. I want to create log in Amazon. Search for iPhone and search for for example iPad and add to cart. Apply coupon. Okay, this is I think a good level. Okay, I want to log in. What is the login? Let's say login. Okay, login is fine. So I want to log in first. After I log in, I want to in Amazon website. Okay, I want to search for an iPhone. After I search, I want to and after that search for an iPad. After I did it, I want to add them to my cart. I want to add them into my cart. And after that, I want to apply a coupon that I have to get discount. And then I'm gonna place my order. So it's a order that you guys know. Okay. For this order, what I want to do, this is a scenario I have. I think this is clear. So I have priority here. You guys want me to write them again, or I think you know them. Do you want me to delete them and write them back? Or it's fine.
No, Rafal, it's pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah, because I think you guys know. So the reason I have priority here, because I want to execute them. Because if I delete them, what happens is that it's going to be executed by the letter. So this is L, this is S, this is S. The first, I think this is going to be executed, the first one here. Okay. But I want them to be executed on the order. Okay. So what I want to do is let's just iPhone, iPad. What is this? Add to cart. And the last one is coupon. And here, what is this? Place. Okay, this is the order we have here. Okay, so the reason I put a priority because I want to start from here, and after this, I want this to be executed after the iPad, then this. If I remove them, they're going to be executed by the letter they start with, so that's not going to be an order. And if I delete any of these annotation, they're not going to be executed at all because once you put annotation, it means this is a TestNG method. If you remove them, this is not a TestNG method anymore. Okay, what's my scenario? I want to log in before in all of these methods. I want to use this login method before all of these methods. So the scenario is like this. Let me do it very quick. So this is, I have test cases here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's easy. But I want to log in before any of these methods, guys. That's all. And I want to, after that, log out. After all of these methods are done, so I log out. So these log out And these login, they are not method. I have only 4 methods. How do I know? Because I put an @ sign and I put test. So I have 4 methods. I want to because if I don't log in, I cannot get into the website. And after I'm done, I need to log out. So when you want a method to be executed before all the methods in the class, all the methods, so you would have before class. Then this is before class. And if you want a method to be executed after, then you would use after class, the same thing. This is the difference. Okay, I'm going to use this method before all of these and this method after all of this. This is a scenario. And we have the scenario here. Okay, now, how do I know? Let's execute this before doing that. I don't know if I save it. Okay, search for an iPhone, search for an iPad, add them to a cart, apply a coupon, place an order. Okay, place my order. I'm gonna delete this annotation. Placing my order. I'm gonna also delete this. So what would happen is that this is not gonna be executed. This is the reason of test annotation. Now you don't have that. After applying a coupon, this is not gonna be executed. This is the first one. And another thing that we have, you don't see the logout and login. So how can you just search for an iPhone before you log into a website? You're not allowed at least to. You can do, but you cannot, check it out or at least pay the money. Okay, now I want to use before class. So this is all a class. What is a class? It means this is a test case. I want to use before my test case. Again, let's come here. I have everything for you guys. What is a test case? What is a test case, guys? Class. This is a class, but actually this is a test case. I have steps for it, and these steps are I'm gonna implementing them through method. Again, test case can be a class in TestNG. Okay, this is my test case. I want to log in before all of them, and also I want to log out after all of them. After class. Okay, the reason it doesn't ask me because I already have them here. Okay, now what would happen? So you will not have these two here because they are supportive method, guys. But these are the main methods. How many main methods we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever we have the name or numbers here. Okay. Get rid of this. Okay, let's just execute this. No time. Okay, now you see I logged into the account and then I search for an iPhone, I search for an iPad, I add them to the cart, I apply my coupon, and then I place the order, and then I logged out. So what happens? Then before class, if will be executing before all the test cases you have, before all the methods, sorry, not test cases. So, and after the class will be executing after all of these, even it's before them, after class is before all the method it's about, but it will be executing at the end. So this is the scenario. I hope you guys understood why we've used before and after. Now I logged in, I did my job, whatever I wanted to do, then I log out. So everything is passed because we didn't use any code. So the difference between this and this here, before method and after method, I have them here. Before class annotation is only used once and before all methods. After class annotation is also used once, remember, once, but after all methods. What is the difference between this and before and after method? Before and after method will be executing before and after each method. Each method, not once, which method, but these are once. Okay, this is about it. And let's go before and after test. Any question, guys? Let me know because I'm gonna just move forward. If you know that you need something, just let me know. Okay, and then I'm gonna create another package quick. So what is the scenario, guys, here? Okay, I have a test case. What is a test case? You can tell me in TestNG.
The class.
Very good. Test case is a class. I have a test case. Test case 1, test case 2. They are all classes. This is one class, this is another class. So this test case has many methods, like method 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, like let's say a method 5, 6, 7, 8. How many methods I have? Eight methods. So I have 8 methods in 2 classes, or I can say test cases. These are test cases. Or whatever. Okay, now with before test and after test, we need to have at least 2 classes to understand that. What are these? So before these 2 test cases or classes, I want to execute 2 methods. So I want to log into the account again. I want to log in, and then I want to use logout, whatever here. Before these test cases and after these test cases, so, and what should I do? Because this class has 4 test cases, this class has 4, and I want to use 2 methods before these 2 classes and after these classes. Do you think, where should I write these methods? Can you guys guess? So
Log in the first class and log out in second class.
so log in the first class, log in the second class. Okay, that would work. And another one, you can guess. And I can also use these 2 to any of these class that I want. Either this class or this class, doesn't matter. And you know why? Because, sorry for this crazy thing. So you know what? Because I'm going to use what is after and before annotation, before test annotation. You know why test? Because every of these, this is a test case. This is called a test. So I want to use one before this and one after this. So this is after and before test, guys. So you need to have at least 2 classes, and because and you have 2 methods that you want to execute before these 2 classes. They cannot be 2, they can be 100 classes, but you want to execute one test before and one test after them. I hope you guys understood, and let's do it quick. Okay, I'm gonna create another quick package here. I would say TestNG, let's say call it 2. Inside this, I'm gonna create a class test1, another class test2. Okay, we have a package here, guys. We have a package here, and I want to use these 2 classes. So I did the same thing, but I just want to have something new for you guys. Yeah, I had the same thing here, but anyway, let's just, I think you know the annotation. I'm just gonna copy them quick, no time. So I'm gonna copy everything from here to test case 1, 2, doesn't matter. I think it was 1. Yeah, this one. Yes, this one. Okay, and also come here and copy everything. Go to test case test2. Once I paste everything, I'm gonna this case 1. Not to save it. Go. Okay. So this is one of my test cases, guys. Okay, just come here. This is one of my test cases. Okay. What is this? Okay, let's see what I need to do. So I'm gonna delete before test. So I want to log in. Then after login again, the same scenario. Create a post or whatever. This is how many test cases do we have here? Do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, I think, 1, 2, 4. 4 test cases. And after that, after I do this in another class, I have the same thing. Let's delete this. I have the same thing here. Here I want to, so the same thing, let's just put different things here. Let's just put, again, searching, just to let you know, searching, after searching, checking the price. I just want to write it quick, no worries. Checking the price. Okay, after checking the price, I want to say adding to cart. Let's go to the next one. Adding to cart and paying, or let's say again applying coupon, and after that placing order. Okay, these are what I need to do. Okay, so this is the one, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also I have another class. So I have one class here, and also I have another class here. So for every class, I have a test annotation, and I have 1 method, 2, 3, 4. In each class, I have 4 methods. Here I have 5. I have 5 methods here, and I have 4 methods here. I have 9 methods in 2 different classes. I have 5 methods here and 4 methods here. Totally 9 methods, 2 test cases, but in 2 classes. Now, before doing any of these, I want to use 2 methods here. Imagine there are 10, 100 test cases, 100 classes. We don't care. But we need to use these test cases, one before all of these and one after all of these. So we have different options. One, we can use these two to one class. Another option that we have, we can use one in one class and one in another class. This is another option. So because we're going to use annotation. So what is my first one? I would say, so I'm going to use one inside this class, test 1, void login. So logging in, so into account. So this is the first one. So, but now I want to use annotation that to be executed before everything. So here I need to say before test. This is a difference before test. And now I have another class here that I want to, I want this method after or log out to be executed after all of these. Imagine there are 2 classes or 100 classes. I will create a method with log out. Okay, so here I would say before test. Okay, this is before test. I think after test, because here we had before test. Yeah. Here after test. Okay, I would save it here, and I would save it. So now we have 2 classes. Imagine 100 classes, 100 test cases. Okay. If you want to learn something, just draw even with yourself. You would learn it forever. One test case, another test case. Every these cases they have method inside. I want to use login one login before all of these and log out after all of this. That's all. So I can place these 2 in one class or this class or either this, or I can place this in one inside this and the other one inside it. Doesn't matter. I put one here, one inside this. So, but I would have a problem now. If I have two classes, how can I execute? If I right click here, this will be executed. If I right click here, this will be executed. What should I do in this situation? In this situation, I would just come to the package and I will right click on the package and I say TestNG. Let's see how it works. How many test cases do we have? 10. So logging into account, 1, because we logged in here. Yes, this is the first, before the test. How many test cases, guys, do you have? 100, doesn't matter. This will be executing before all the test cases because you require that. Is this a test case? No. Is this a method? No, because it doesn't have a test annotation. It's only a supportive method because you don't have it here. You never see a login. You see, this is test case 1. You guys see test case 1? This is test case 1. And how many methods? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test case 1 have 5 methods. And test case 2 has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 methods. Now you see login here. I hate this. What should I do with this? Okay, you see 1, and now after that you logged out. You logged out. You know what? Because you put the logout in this class. Let's just remove this, and I will come and put it here inside this class. Now what happened? If I go here, I have 2 of these in one class. I have 2 of these in one class. Let's just save it and execute it again. So again, we go to the package level because we have 2 classes. We cannot execute one of them. It's not going to work. Again, 10 cases, pass 10, fail or nothing because we have no code. Again, login and log out. Do you guys understand the difference? I think you should understand now. Okay, this class. Okay, here we have test annotation. So again, before test and after method, before method and after method, they will be executing before and after each method. Before class, after class, they will be executing after all the methods in a test case and before all the methods in a test case once. After test, before test, you have to have at least more than one class to understand it. They will be executing before any number of class and after any number of classes that you decide. Again, test case 1, we have login or whatever. So before method, after method. So before method, login, search, logout, login, search, logout. After and before every method. Before class, after class. So only execute once before all the methods. So this login will be executing once before all the method. How do you know that they are method? They are signed by TestNG annotation. So here, and this after class will be executing also once after all the method. And test case for before test and after test, you need to have 2 test cases at least and more. And you also execute them. Okay, I hope you understand by now. Any questions by now, guys? Between these 3?
No, Firjan, thank you so much, brother. It was so very helpful and clear.
Let me know if I'm not clear, guys, because sometimes I don't know.
I totally understand. Yeah, it was very clear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, now I'm gonna give you, what is the heart of Maven, guys? Do you guys remember what is the heart of Maven project?
No.
Java.
pom.xml file. Without this, you cannot do anything. In TestNG, we have a XML file. In Maven project, we have a pom.xml file. Here, we have only XML file. So what does test XML file do? Why do we need it? Let's come here. It generates HTML report for you. And you need to So when we run a test case by XML file, we have two ways. One is manually and the other one is automatically. Okay, why do we use test cases? Why do we run a test case using XML file? One, to generate report, HTML report, and also to do batch testing. What is batch testing? This is batch testing. We have two classes here, yes? And now when you do batch testing, it means you have many test cases in one package or in one project. Then we use XML file. So let's run them through XML file. I think this is the most important thing in TestNG. Now I will right click on this, new other. And here I find XML file, XML, after XML, XML file, next. Here it must end with .xml. I'll call it as before. Okay, before and after. This is the XML file that is heart of the TestNG. Very, very important. When I click on finish, it will be generating here. And this is manually, guys. This is something that we can generate manually by creating a TestNG file. Okay, what if I want to something, again, I will come here, new, other, XML file, and then I click next, and then I give it a name, then I say, click on finish, and then it will be created here. When it creates here, it has nothing. I need to put everything here. But before doing that, I'm going to show you how to create automatically here. So we create one manually, and now I'm going to create one automatically. Again, why do you want to create? Because I want to create HTML report, and I want to do batch testing. What is batch testing? To execute many test cases. What is batch testing? To execute a lot of test cases. Test case 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they are all come in one package. Even 100 test cases, they all come in one package. Okay, now how to create one? I'll right click on this. I come here, TestNG, and then I convert to TestNG. Again, right click on the package, TestNG, convert to TestNG. What is the difference? It's gonna create you an XML file automatically. This is the XML file. I can change the name, but let's just create it. Okay, this is the XML file that I have now. So see what I have here. When you create an XML file, these two are important. First, you have a suit, a start tag. I'm gonna just do this. This is important. Let me just tell you everything. This is the suit. A suit is it means what is. Let's come back again. Let's come back again. What is suit, guys? Here, package. So a test suite, you can have a lot of tests here in a test suite, like they're called package here. So a test suite can have a name. So you put that name here like TestNG. Doesn't matter. After suite, you open the suite and then you close it here. Everything comes inside the suite. Whatever is inside the suite, just I would say call it a folder. Whatever is inside the suite, call it a folder. Here, it gives you the number, so you just delete it. It doesn't matter. This is test. Test has a name. What is test? This is package, guys. What is test? Test is a package. You have it here. Inside the test, and then you close the test here. It opens, and this is closing tag. See, you guys see it? This is closing tag. And it has also the name TestNG, TestNG annotations. Whatever name you want to, just give it. Okay, now inside the test is inside the suite, you have classes. This is the class. Inside the classes, then we put whatever class we have. Okay. Inside this package, how many classes do we have? 2 classes. Now we have 2 classes here. If we have 3 classes, then we can put 3 classes, doesn't matter. So whatever you put it inside here will be executing. If you don't put it inside this, it's not going to be executed. Okay, I'm going to create one from scratch, just learn it. Now, whenever you, let me open this. If I want to run this class as an XML file, so this if I want to run, it gives me TestNG test. Okay, whatever class in TestNG you want to run, it gives you TestNG test. But if you want to run, if you want to run and test XML file, when you right click on it, it gives you TestNG suite, not test. Let's come back here. I have everything organized for you guys. You know what? Because we can manage, we can do suite test or suite case testing. When I say suite testing, it means more than one test. Here, when it gives you test suite, it means you can have many classes. This is a class, this is a test case. Okay, when you class equal TestNG1, you put the name of the package here, guys. What is the name of the package here? TestNG2. And after that, you put a dot and you put the name of the class you have. What is the name of class? Test1. Okay, I'm gonna cut this and put it here. Okay, now you, how many classes do you have? 2 classes. They are all in one package. The package is TestNG2, and you have test1, test2, name of the class. Okay, now I want to execute this. What is the advantage of this? When I execute this, it's gonna create me a folder which is called I forgot the name. The name is here, but I forgot. For I think output or whatever for testing. I just forgot it. It comes to my mind later. Okay, now if I execute this, it gives me, then I can have the HTML report. Or by using, so by using XML file, if I execute it, it gives me the HTML report. And remember, when you right click here, always it gives you TestNG suite. Okay, now again, 10 test cases. These are all my scenarios. If you remember earlier, I right clicked on the package. No, not this one. This one? No, here. I right click on this package and then I clicked on TestNG. It gave me the same result if you just saw earlier. And now it gives me the same result. So now it gives me something more now. Let's see what it gives us. If I just right click here and then refresh, it gives me a folder, see, test output. If I open the folder, first it gives me a text index HTML. If I open this index HTML with system editor, this is the report that I was given. So this is the report. So you have, how many test cases I have? You have test 10 cases. All of them are passed. Let me show. So click on my account, my marketplace, creating a story, what. Okay, you have all this adding to the cart. So how many classes did you have? How many test cases did you have? I had 2 test cases. I had 2 test cases, guys. See, it gives you everything. What is this called? This is called, again, HTML report. Okay, so how many classes or test cases do you have? I had 2, one for Amazon, adding cart, whatever, the other one for Facebook. And here, how many passed? 10 of them are passed. Are they grouped? No. And are they considered how many tests? 1 test, 2 classes. 1 test, 2 classes, or 2 test cases. And all suits, if you have many suits, it will show you many suits. This is one HTML report. And another report that you can get that I found is this email. System editor. And it gives you another method. Okay, you have TestNG, you have, I hate this again. How can I disappear this? Mm, Python. Okay, so it's not gonna go away. Okay, here it gives you another kind of method that you have everything in TestNG2, add into the card, and it gives you like in this way. If you want, you can see, okay, how many test cases passed? 10. Escaped, nothing. Retried, nothing. Failed, nothing. And time this. And how many classes did you have? Test case 1, 2 classes, or 2 test cases. And if you click on any of those, it will come you here and show you. So these are two methods, that two kind of reports that we get when we run a test case using XML file. Using XML file, guys. What is XML? XML is the heart of TestNG, which is very, very important. How to create a XML file? We have two different ways. First, we can right click. Okay, let's create another. So I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna write one from scratch until you guys can see, but now I'm gonna close this. So remember for this one, for what is banned? Okay, for this, we just created, what is this? Before and after method. So I run this from here, guys. You remember, it gives me TestNG. Now just see. So it gives you that you have 10 classes or whatever. So before and after every test. This is one way. Now, if I want to run this through XML, I right click this because this is a single class, single test case. It's not like they're not related to one another. Okay. Now I can right click on this and run it as if I want to create a test in an XML report on this. I have two ways. One is manual. If I want to create one manual, I'll be creating one manually. So other XML file, next, finish. It gives me one. Now this is manually. It's nothing. You need to import everything. Now I'm gonna delete this because we don't need it. Okay, I'm gonna create one automatically. How that would work? So here you right click on it, and then you come TestNG, convert to TestNG. This will give you whatever inside there is inside that class. I say finish. The name already exists. Cancel. Let's give another name. Practice testing. I'm gonna say AA. No. Okay. This is the TestNG annotation. AA. Okay. So this is inside the class. What is this? This is for this class method. Okay. Well, how many class we have here? Let me show you the class, guys. Before and after the method. This is the class. This is the class. Okay. This is the class before and after method. This is the class. This is a not. Let me open this anyway. Before and after method. You have it here. Which one is it? This is the first one. Okay, this is the class. If you see the class, how many how many classes is used here? Only one class. If I want the XML file on this, okay, it says, okay, you have one class here. The name is from the package TestNG1, and the name of the class is brand, whatever I put here. This is the name. Okay, now I can run this class by using TestNG. By using TestNG here, or I can come to the class, run it, or I can go to the XML file of that class that I created automatically. If I run this, it gives me it's gonna run this the same thing. You're gonna see the same thing, but additionally, it's gonna give me the report of that class. Okay, now I have the report for this. If I right click on this and refresh, it's gonna give me the report for that. So the reports are all gonna come to the inside this folder if you saw it. So output, all the reports will gonna come to this folder. And now you can have the report. So one visa email and also index HTML, which is very important. Then I can open this system editor. And a second, how many test cases did we have? We had 5 test cases in that class. And this is this. Okay. Now let's go to the file. And so we learn how to create automatically, and let's learn how to create manually. And what time is it? We have still time. Okay, now we're gonna create one manually. Let's do it. I'm gonna delete everything. Let's delete them. We don't need them. Okay, let's come to TestNG1. Is it class A? No, not this. So this is the class we created. We create this manually. Okay, now I want to create one. I wish I didn't delete because I need, okay, when you create something manually, it gives me this line. You have another, you need to put another line. So you just open another file and let's copy the second line always. After you copy the second line, just paste it here. Okay, now I want to create an XML file for these two. Okay, this is the file we got, and I want to create. So first of all, you create suit. Okay, just write suit. After you write this, press Control and a space. It gives you the option. Okay, it gives you the option, and then you click on it. After it gives you this, then click here, and then separate them. So it gives you the name. What is the name? Okay, TestNG. TestNG1. This is the name. Or we can say unit testing. It's it. Inside the suite, what do we need to do? I think I have them here. No, maybe I have them here. I have them somewhere. Okay, I can show you. Inside the suite, then we need another tag called test. So just call test, then another space enter, control space test. It gives you the option. Just click here, enter. So the testing is annotation. This is annotation. Inside the test, I need classes. And after that, give you the option, classes. Open this. This is classes. Inside this, we need class now. Again, class. So now it doesn't give you, so it gives you an option of this. Let me do this first. So what is a class name? Very, very important, guys. What do I want to do? This is what I want to do. So TestNG is my package name. First, we put the package name. Okay, TestNG2 dot, the first class is test1. Okay, now it's done. Okay, this is a class. If I want to, you can remove this. Imagine it's because this is the closing tag for the class. You can remove this. It gives you error, but now you can come here and after that just add a forward slash. This is now it's only one class. So class and then test. This is the package name, TestNG2. This is the class name, and I want to have another class. So because I have two classes there. Again, class. It gives you the name. What's the name of the class? Again, this is the TestNG. The same name for my package, but they are all in one package. So here I can also delete this. See, I don't need this. And here I put the package name dot, and then I put test2, I think. Is it test2? Yes. Okay, and now I close the tag. See, it gives me error. And then I can close the tag by a single forward slash. Control Shift F, it organizes. Okay, so this is a suit. Inside the suit, everything is inside the suit. Okay, inside the suit, I have a test. For the suit and the test, the names are optional, guys. Then inside this test is the class. So call this a folder. Whatever inside the suite is, just call a folder. So inside the test is another folder, classes. So whatever classes you have, you put inside the tag classes. So these classes are inside the folder test. And then you, in an XML file, you can never have two suite. You can never have two suite, but you can have different tests because they are test cases. If I copy this, then I can come and copy this. So how many tests I have? I have, one suite, but inside one suite, I can have many test cases. Many test cases, guys. This is one, and this is the second one. Okay, but I can never have two suite names. They only one. Okay, let's get back. Okay, now this is what I need to do. I have two classes. That's easy how to create. Now I can just two ways. I can execute this by run as, let me just say this, run as the TestNG suite, or I can come. If I want the report, guys, why do I need to use XML file? Whenever I have more than one classes or there are many classes, I can execute them using TestNG batch testing. Batch testing, it means testing many classes. This is one. And another thing is I want to have the HTML report. They are the reasons, batch testing and HTML reports, they are the reasons that I execute a test case from using XML file. But if I have a single class or I don't need a report, I just right click on the class and run it as a test. Okay, let's do it quick, no time. Test case, no. Where the hell was it? Let's see if it works. Okay, it gives us error. Let's find the error. Okay, cannot find class in classpath TestNG2. The name is, we got the wrong name because they are both test2, test1. Let's see what is wrong.
You are missing a T, Rafiq John, on the second class.
Yes, yeah, exactly. This is the name. So test1, test2. So whenever you get an error, always read the first line before @org, always. And thanks for letting me know, Sergio. Okay.
You're welcome.
If it works. Okay, it's executed. Now here we have two reports. We have three mode. So we have two classes, the same as before, test cases, and now again I can come here and I refresh my project. Then if I want, I can go, it creates me a test, or it creates, XML creates you a test output, and then you can find an index HTML that we did, I think. No need to do it again. I'll do it once more and that's fine. System editor. This is TestNG with XML file. And then again, you have test, it show you, and also you can use the other one, which is email. Okay. Are you guys clear by now? So how to create a, so XML manually and also automatically. Okay, any question, guys? Okay, now let's go to another thing. Okay, now what we did, so we learned about TestNG is. It's open framework. It's a views and unit testing with TestNG, and it's another thing that it has that I can show you. Always go here. It's a testing framework, and it gives you the option. It's also the reason that what's the difference between JUnit and NUnit and TestNG? TestNG has only more facilities and important things. That's all. And it's a built-in framework. It has advantage, gives you the HTML report we saw, manage these cases. It does parallel testing that we have not done yet, and it support. So now the easiest parts are done. Remember, test suites are always packaged in TestNG, test cases are class, and steps are method. And we learned how to, what is priority and test annotation. How do you know if it's how do you know if it's a TestNG method? How do you know if it's something as TestNG method? If this it doesn't have, if there is this is not existed, this is not a TestNG method, guys. How do you know that's a TestNG method? By test annotation. And we learned what is before test and after test. They'll be executing before and after each method in the class. And before and after class, they'll be executing before and after all methods and in one class. They're only used once. And before and after test, if you have more than one test case, we use them. It doesn't matter where we use it. And this is another sample. I can send you this if you guys want. And we can, why do we use XML5, which is very important? We use it to create the HTML report and also to do batch testing. It means more than to execute more than one test cases. And ways of creating the XML files is one manually and one automatically. So how to use, again, manually, it means just to right click, next, other, XML file, next, and then you give a name and it's done. This is manually. And how do you do it automatically? If it's a package or to class, doesn't matter. Again, right click, then TestNG, convert to TestNG. Okay, so are you guys clear so far? Because if you should know this, and then we can move forward. Okay. Now let's go to the next topic, which is, by the way, was that the video helpful, guys, or no? You guys are sleeping.
No, Dr. John, we're awake. What was the question?
Was that video helpful that I created?
Yes, yes, very helpful. The one about the Git and GitHub.
Yes, I hope it was
Yeah,
your.
I watched. Yeah, I watched it. It was very helpful. Yes, I did.
Okay, good. Okay, now let's go to another topic about TestNG. We have another 20 minutes. So we have another three kind of assert command or assert command in TestNG. They are called assertions. The first one is assert true or false. The other one is assert equal. We put the one side to the other side that can be compared. I'm going to use it. And the other one is just fail. We use this. Okay, now let's go to another thing that I created for you guys. So dependencies, test priority, okay, let's go. And, okay, now I'm here. So let's go here. Let me give you something. How to disable and enable a test in TestNG. Okay, in this class, imagine I have 5 test cases. And I have 5 test cases, but I know that 2 of these test cases are they have bugs on. I mean, they're not going to be handled, or I don't need. I should not execute them now. I can, you know, remove them from my from executing. So now let's go here. So how can I do it? Let me. Then I can put, or let me delete this. I can put a. Okay, so whenever you put this on any test cases, this is not going to be executed, guys. This is how to what is TestNG? We use TestNG to manage our test cases. So now I'm going to execute this class, but the developer tells me that there's something wrong with this feature, and there's something wrong with this feature. And when you execute your test cases, you should ignore these. So I want to ignore these test cases. Then I will put enable equal false. This is not going to be executed. And then I copy. If I want to say, okay, and if I want to put this here, I'll put a comma, and then I put this here, and then I delete this. Then I delete this as well. Okay, so enable to false, it means how many test cases do we have here, guys? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 4 test cases. If I want to ignore any of those test cases, I can put a, a notation which is called enable equal false. Now, if I want to execute this, those should not be executed. So now what was the name? The name clicking on marketplace and also creating a story. Creating a story and deleting. So how many test case? Creating a post, finding friends, scrolling down. So we don't have this method, clicking on marketplace, and we don't have creating a story because I decided not to execute them. In this situation, there might be something wrong with the code, or maybe the code for this test case is not ready, or maybe it has bugs. Well, so you need to exclude this. You need to exclude this from your test case. Then you never do it. So this is one way. And then I can also do it through XML file. Let me show you that. Let's see. So if I remove this now, so I have 3 test cases. If I remove this, then creating a story will be added here because that will be executed. So this is how we can exclude a test from being executed in our test case. Now creating, what was the name? The story, I think. Now you can see it here. So we put in, if you have many things here, so priority equal whatever, then you don't start another bracket here or another, whatever you call it. So you just put a comma and then enable equal false. If I just want to execute this, enable equals true, then you have it. You should be seeing it here, clicking on marketplace and clicking on marketplace. This is one thing that you should know. And also in let me we learned this dependency. Okay, let's tell you dependencies and then it's a big topic. Okay, let me come here. Okay. So I have the same scenario, guys. Do you want me to create another class or this is fine? Okay, create if you want. Let me create. So this is gonna be, I think, the last topic, maybe because the class. Okay, I'm gonna no, the same thing. Okay, let me create one more and that's gonna be fine for tonight. Okay, what is dependency in so what is dependency in TestNG? Okay, let me copy the code. I have it here. So okay, I'm gonna copy this. Okay. So let me. Okay, again, we have a test case here. So what is the test case? Okay, we have a test case here, guys, that that let me just show you something. This is important. There is something called dependencies, and Let me, I think I need to put this method. Okay. So we have some rules here. So after class, before class, it means I want this to be executed before all the method, after all the method. I have another thing that I need to be, I need that to be executed before all the method. So I don't have it here. Let me just create it. Did I miss it before? So let's copy this here. And then I'm going to copy this here. That's fine. Okay. I have some test cases. The first test case is, again, creating that post, finding the friends and whatever. But I'm going to make them dependent. So how can I do it? Okay. If I say, so the way I created, no, the same thing is fine. So I say when I log into the application, so if I log into the application and this method works, creating a post, then the other method should work. So I depend one test to another test. If that test works, the other test should work. If not, the other test should not work. Okay, now, so let's say creating a post, I make it assert false. I would say true. I'll make it fail. Okay, or I say let's assert um, the okay, I make this false. Okay. So I'll make this false. What's wrong with this? Let's see. Let's make this. Okay, false true. That's good. Okay, whenever I say if this code works, then I want this method to be executed. So, but I want to make this dependent to this method. So, what would I do? I would say depends on method. So let's see. Depends on method. Let's copy from here. Depends on method. What I missed here, I think it should be depend on method equal. Then I put the name of this method. So whatever the name is. So okay. So what I do, so this is a method creating a post. I say if this method works, then this method should work too, finding a friend. So that's why I put this. Sorry, I should not put this here. I should cut this, and then let me see. I'll cut this and I'll put this here. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, this is the method that I make it as true or false. I'm saying this method, which is finding friends, if this method works, this method should be executed because I depend this method to finding friends. Now I need to put another name here, this. So if this method creating a post works, this method which is finding friends should be working as well. If not, this is gonna be skipped. Okay, and now I'll come here. This is the method is scrolling down. Okay, I put a comma here. I say if this method finding friends executed, then this method scrolling down should be executed too. Then I'll come here and I put this here as equal. So here I put this name. Okay, and for the last one, I'm gonna do the same thing. It says this is optional, but this is very important. You guys should learn this. Okay. equals, scrolling down. Okay, what I did here, let's see. I have a method called, so we can make a test case dependent on another by using the below annotation that I already put here. So what is this? The first method I have, guys, this is creating a post. Okay, and I said assert true. Assert.true. I mean, I make it as passed. If this method passes, this method will be passed because this method depends on this. What is the name of this method? Creating a post. I put, if this method works, then the method finding friends will be work because this method is dependent on this method because I put the name of this method here. Another method here we have is scrolling down. I say this method depends on the method finding friends. If this finding friend works, that this method is also dependent on this method. So this method will be executed. If not, so these are all dependent to one another. It means if I make this as false, if I make creating post as false, all of these methods will be skipped. Now let's see how they work. I'm gonna bring some changes. I wanna just show you how it works. Okay, it says one pass, failure 0, and escape 0. What is the reason? Because all the methods they depend in one another. So they all depend to the first one, and the first one I make it as pass. If I make this false, see, this is false. If I make this as false, this finding friend is not going to be executed because this depends on creating post, and then I make this as false, so this is not going to execute it. This is fail. This will fail, and this one will be skipped because this one is related to this one, and this method belongs to this. If finding friends works, finding friends depends on finding friends, so this one will be executed. If not, this one will be skipped. And if scrolling down works, executes, then creating a story will be executed because this creating a story depends on scrolling down. And the last one, if creating a story works, that I didn't put anything here. No, I'm not. Yeah, that's good. I'm not going to put anything. So this method will work regardless of anything. So now let's execute this. I'm going to explain this there as well. Okay, let's get the error. Finds it depends on non-exact method. So depends on. Let's find it. After class, before class. So test priority depends on finding friends. And scrolling down, we have here. So non-existent, we haven't. I'm gonna delete this because enabled, we know it's gonna be working. Okay, so this method belongs to, is related to scrolling down. That's fine. It's existent. Finding friends, creating post, creating the post. Yeah, this is not correct. Okay, now let's execute. Again, depends on known users. Running TestNG depends. Dot. Creating a post. We have it here.
If John, on the code below, you have finding friends and there is a space. Would that make a difference? Since
No, I think so.
on the sysout.
On the sysout, no. You mean this?
Yeah, finding friends, there is a space, but in our method, there is no space, or that doesn't matter.
No, there is no, it doesn't matter really. So let me
Okay.
just remove some because I just want you guys to understand the concept. You may get confused this way. So let's just 33, because dependents are very important topic. So okay, let's make them all true. Okay, so this is the first method. This is gonna be true, and this method is fine, and this method is fine. So the last thing I want to do, so I want this scrolling down. So this creating a story, I make depends to scrolling down. If this method works, this is going to be executed. If not, no. I think that's fine. So let's see. I think there's no other problem in this. Okay, so as you see here, we have 5 methods and no fail, 0 escape. Okay, I said if it's scrolling down execute, then this creating a post will be executed. Okay, but now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna here come and make this as false. So I'm gonna copy this and creating the story. So yeah, I'm gonna make this as false. So I set dot assert true, false. So now this method will fail. When this method fails, this will be escaped because this method depends on this method, depends on scrolling down. Let's see. You see that we have one escape method. How do we know that? It turns in blue in red. See? So pass, pass, pass. Now this method which is failed, we have it blue. It has a cross here, and this method creating a story is escaped, so it's yellow. Why is it escaped? Because this method creating a story depends on a method called scrolling down that I made it as false. So this method failed and this method got escaped because this method depends on that. Let's go here. Let's see here. So this method fails, failed is scrolling down. Scrolling down failed because I made it as false. See, so when that falls, it depends on this. But this should be escaped, not failed. This should be escaped, not failed. We should have a method escaped by the name of creating a story. Let's see. Yes, escaped creating a story. Now this is creating a story. So, and I think you guys just got the concept. And now let's see. I want to use the same thing. Not want to waste the time. I want to use the same thing here. So this method, I want to depend this on the creating a story. What happened to creating the story? It got escaped because this failed. This got failed because I made it as false. Now we should have 2 escape methods. This is going to be escaped because it depends to creating a story, and creating a story depends on scrolling down. But these 2 methods, they depends on this, which is I made it false. Now they should be escaped as well. We should have 2 escape methods now. Yeah, we have 2. So what is the first? So the first one, which is failed here, is scrolling down, that I made it as false. Okay, this is false. So, and these 2 are dependent to that. So creating a story escaped. So, and this belongs to this failed, then this got escaped, and this belongs to this got escaped, and that should be escaped as well. And this is clicking on marketplace, escape, because this one is failed. And also here we have 2 escape methods. So this is how we can create depends or something. And also I can do also something. I can say here, so priority, and then enable equals false. See, I can have the same thing. So this is my priority 5 after 4, enable false, depends on this. Even now, if this works, this is gonna be failed because this is false. or I can put it as 0. So this is how you can solve. But remember, you can only put one bracket here and one bracket here. You separate them by comments, by comma. Okay, now I think it's enough for tonight because we have a parameterization which is very, very important and a bit difficult. And also we are gonna have data provider and parameterization, which is you have to have coding. Now we learned tail dependency assertion. We have two kind of assertion. When you say assert.true, if you say false, it's gonna be failed. If you say true, it's gonna be fine. If you say equals, let me show you one equal and we'll leave tonight. So just show you something. Parameterization. Let me show you an assertion. If I have it here. So, and we have cross browser, guys, with TestNG that we don't have time for tonight. Very important with Parallel. For example, we choose the browser to be executed. If the browser is IE, if the browser is Firefox, if the browser is this, when you learn this concept, then you just include them in a framework, you will understand everything. For example, whenever in the framework you see this, you see, okay, this is TestNG parameterization, or you make it parameterized. And when you just combine everything together, everything will be very, very easy. And we'll be also creating a framework from scratch. Okay, so, and also we learn dependency on a method, or we can also have two methods. So let me just show you that as well, quick. So if I say, let's see here, this is my scrolling down. Okay, I can put a comma here, and then after that I can say even. So this belongs to this. And also I can make this dependent to scrolling down and finding friends. I can copy this finding friends as well and copy this here. I mean, that's easy. We can just put them here. So just learn the concept here. Okay, what we want to do is so this is there are two methods. So this depends on two methods. If finding friends works and creating a post works, this method will be executed. Even one of them doesn't work, this will not be executed. So you can just, after depend on method, you can put different methods, just to let you guys know. Okay, and we have another session for TestNG. It's going to be next week, and that week is going to be a tough session because we are going to learn parameterizing, which is very important. And also we are going to learn a listener class in TestNG. It will be covered in the class, I think, next week, but you may not understand because they are a little bit mixed up. Okay, now we learned how to make a test enabled. So next session, we'll be working on XML file, how to include the test, how to exclude the test, and how to group test, how to do group testing. And I think it's enough for tonight. I wish you guys learned and use your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rafiq. I just have a question. Can we do also for the next session like soft assertion and hard assertion if we have a time?